here from Your Kids OT. Thanks for joining me as I love to share creative ways to make learning fun for your children. Today I'm going to share with you some of my favourite tips for using scissors and helping your children to develop those scissor skills. Before I get there, use the description box below because I will have lots of links to articles on my website that already talk about building hand strength and developing those fine motor skills that your child needs for scissor skills. If you need more information, especially for those therapists out there, I co-authored a book called the Scissor Skill Book with the functional skills for therapy team. And this is loaded with information from positioning to fine motor skills, gross motor skills, visual perception skills, sensory motor skills. It's a comprehensive guide, especially for therapists. Parents and teachers will also find it useful, and I'll have the links to that in the description box below. But today I want to share with you some of my favourite tips. And the number one tip, I'm just going to go straight to the number one tip, is thumbs. Helping your children to be aware of their thumbs, knowing which finger is their thumb, being able to isolate their thumb and move their thumb around, and then being able to position their thumb within the scissors themselves. So putting it, often there's a small hole and then larger hole, and putting their thumb in that smaller hole and the other fingers in the larger hole. Thumbs on top, that's my favourite tip. Keeping their thumbs on top when they're cutting and using their helper hand to hold the paper with their thumb on top. Encouraging your child to always keep that thumb on top, not positioning their hand like in a different position, not pointing the scissors towards them, but really cutting so that their thumb is positioned up and cutting forward. Just going to cut forward like that. Now there are lots of things that you can do to help them keep their thumbs on top. Play games with their thumbs, play things like thumb wars. When you're driving a car or doing some other games, really highlight which finger is the thumb. So I'm also going to show you some of my resources that I've recently developed. Here we're chopping off some noodles or some pasta that go into a bowl, go into a pot. And the preschool age is such an important age for cutting and being able to experiment with scissors. So move on from those craft scissors that don't do any cutting to at least, these sort of scissors are great because they have a little part in the centre that help the opening and closing action that a child needs for cutting. Sometimes they get stuck and can't do that open close action, and that little thing in the middle there helps the bounce, helps to move. I've also created this set of printables to help make a zoo, and what happens is that you make a little enclosure for each of the animals by folding it up. But this has been designed to encourage really simple cutting skills, but starting to turn the page when you do it, holding it and using circles are great for that, for turning the page as you're cutting. So always keeping the scissors pointing forward. Children will tend to hold their paper still and move their cutting hand around. And we want to actually discourage that because look what happens to the wrist. It is turning and the manipulation is not there. We want to encourage the helper hand to actually be the hand that turns the paper. If your child's not up to this level of cutting, you might do the circle for them and help them just to cut forward with these little strips here. Cut and cut and cut. So this printable just encourages that turning and turning, and sometimes you do need both hands to help turn the page. So once the cutting is done, what we do is we fold down these pieces, and that will help to create this little enclosure for each of the zoo animals. the printable pack also includes little people that can be used to encourage play with the printable as well. So here we go. So I'll have a link for that. This is also another preschool printable that I have available that encourages just those straight lines and then some curvy lines as well, just for a bit of fun. And I call this interactive fun because we want to make cutting fun for children and engaging. So this just encourages a little bit trickier lines and just something fun with crazy hair for this lady here. And they might need to give the lady a haircut too when you're done with this, making her hair to start with and then giving her a haircut. Kids love giving haircuts, so they can make crazy hair and then go snip, 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 where there's no real right or wrong, and they can make it as short or as long as they want. So I've tried to make that printable as really full of fun activities, chopping the legs off the table, cutting up pasta to put in, and all sorts of things. If you've got a child in school, in kindergarten or year 1, I have a few resources also that I've just created. This one is a resource that is cut and paste words. I have 60 words there for your child to cut and paste, and also work on their reading and their writing skills. So we read the word, we find the word, we cut the word out and stick it on, we trace the word, and then I have a faded tracing as well, so that the child learns how to form those letters independently. And this one is a step up again from that, and this is cut and paste sentences, and I have 50 sentences in that printable pack. So again, we read the sentence, we cut the sentence out, we stick it in order, and then we write it. So lots of good skills for early literacy, and as well as developing fine motor skills and pencil control as well. So have a look in the description box below for more articles on cutting and scissor skills, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.